Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Dave Lee from Dave Lee's English. We talked about the dark L last time, and we've talked a lot about the R sounds and the R controlled vowels, but what happens when you put them together? For many Brazilians, this is an even bigger challenge than the notorious TH, and we're going to tackle it today. So please give a like, share with anybody who needs help with this subject, and subscribe and turn on your notifications because we got a lot more coming your way. So let's get into it. R plus dark L equals what? Many Brazilians don't know. Many Brazilians have been trying to figure this out for a long time. I know people who are fluent in English who have a real hard time with the R and L combination. So we're going to tackle that today. And with a tongue twister like none before. Here's the name Earl. Earl also means Conchi. Count and Earl both mean Conchi. But Earl is a guy's name. So Earls Girl and her squirrel whirled around the world. Wow. Let me do that again before we talk about it. Earl's girl and her squirrel whirled around the world. Okay, so the phrase, the first two words, Earl's girl, that's very informal. Earl's girl could mean Earl's girlfriend, or it could mean Earl's daughter, depending on the context. You know, you would know how old Earl is, you'd know if he's married or single. If he's single, you know, Earl's girl probably means his girlfriend. If he's older and married and has a daughter, well, Earl's girl means his daughter. And this little symbol is called an ampersand. This is the handwritten ampersand, just three little lines across, diagonally down, and up. This is what Americans and many other English-speaking people use instead of the word and, because and has three letters, and in Portuguese you're blessed to only have E, just one letter. So that's a little symbol. Earl's girl and her squirrel. Squirrel, you may know about Alvin and the Chipmunks. They say it's Alvin e os esquilos, but in English we have esquilos that we call squirrels, other esquilos that we call chipmunks. And in fact, in my town, it's really neat. There are actually white squirrels that live in my town. They're not albino, they actually have brown eyes, but they're white squirrels. So it's really cool. But they whirled means spun, around the world. And this is a really extra complicated one. So, Earls, you have the R sound and the L. And remember, we have R plus dark L. So remember, it is two separate sounds. If you have trouble with any sound combination in the English language, remember to separate them, then put them together. Like the first part of this word, ol. In fact, I'm going to skip all the way down to the last word because this one really gives a lot of Brazilians trouble. Were old. How can you combine those? Well, I heard somebody say, think of two different words, the word word and the word old. And if I can find out who I heard that from, I want to give them credit because that's a great idea, great tip. So were plus old basically equals world. Were old, world. That's a really tricky word, but if you just put the words were and old together, if you can master those two words and just put them together, world. That's it. And you can do the same thing with the rest of these, except they won't be words all the time, they may just be sounds. But Earls, girl, that's a really tricky one. Girl, Earl, girl, and her squirrel. And believe it or not, most English-speaking people pronounce this as just one syllable, squirrel, squirrel. I don't know if you saw the movie Up, but the dog in that movie had ADD, apparently, attention deficit disorder, and everywhere he looked, he just suddenly stopped and said, squirrel! And so that's how we say it. Some people use two syllables, squirrel, but you can separate it out like that if you need to, or you can, once you get it all together, you can put it together. Then whirled, which is almost the same as world, around the world. So let's try this with our Prislinia. Earls Girl and her squirrel whirled around the world. Earls Girl and her squirrel whirled around the world. It's tricky. And now, the really tricky part, I'm going to try to say it faster. I may have to keep looking back here. So, Earl's girl and her squirrel whirled around the world. Earl's girl and her squirrel whirled around the world. So, how fast can you say it? Well, it's a pretty cool trick if you can say it fast. The main thing is to say it accurately at first. Remember, break down any word that you need to, separate them out, and then put them together. Like Earl, world. That's a good trick, a good tip to use. So use that with the R and the L sound, the RLD sound as well. And any questions, please put them in the comments and we'll give you our best answer. Thanks for watching. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.